Rachel, you are such a loser. You should just give up. You can't get anything right. You're too broken. You're too messed up. Boy, nobody's ever going to want to put up with you. What's wrong with you? Why can't you get this right? Get over it already. These were just a few of the ways that I used to criticize and talk to myself. So let's dig in and let's talk about self-criticism and what we can do about it.
But to revisit something as traumatic as abuse can be frightening up front, but it's certainly worth the healing that's going to come out on the other end.
So today we're going to be drawing from Raquel Lerner's Affirmation for the Inner Child. I'm going to do a little reading for you, and we're going to talk about the toxicity of self-criticism. I will allow my inner child to receive constructive criticism. Inside of me lives a 12-year-old who takes every remark as a criticism. This child transforms every comment into a judgment of her self-worth. You're bad. You can't do anything right. So she plants her feet, puts her hands on her hips, and yells back, "Shut up! You can't tell me what to do." I'm worn out by her anger and combative stance. Today, I will allow my inner child to receive constructive criticism. I can listen to the feedback from others without becoming defensive. I can take some time, I can take some time to reflect on it and ask myself, does this behavior need to change? I no longer need to say you are wrong to make myself right. My inner child is already right. I can change my actions to reflect her shining image. Come on now. The difference between constructive criticism of ourselves and negative, berating, diminishing criticism is a really critical thing to understand. We do need to hold ourselves accountable. It's okay to hold ourselves to certain standards and want to call forth certain things from ourselves. But what I know from my own experience and in working with survivors of sexual trauma is that most of the time we are so quick to go into this self-beat up place, self-criticism place, and all we're really doing is reinforcing negative ideas that we have about ourselves. We aren't actually calling ourselves to new behavior or to up level or to transform or to change. We're just diminishing and beating ourselves up and knocking ourselves further and further down. So we really want to watch out for this patterning when we fall into this place of self-criticism that is blame and shame. To get out of this is a process, but one of the things that you can begin to do is just notice it. That's always the first step, is just that awareness piece. Can you even catch yourself doing it? Can you start to distance yourself from that voice and think, maybe that's not actually me? Whose voice is that really? For me, a lot of my self-criticism was born out of being in an abusive relationship for quite some time. And after I left that relationship, the messaging was still there, and I could still hear these, "Oh, you don't look good. Oh, you always mess everything up. Oh, you're such a problem. You're so disposable." And I had to really learn to pause and start checking in and get curious. Whose voice is that? Whose words are those really? Is that really mine? And as I began to challenge that, and I began to notice that cleared the way for me to start really claiming, who am I really? And I could start to find ways to constructively criticize myself and push myself. So as Raquel Lerner says, I can let this shining image of myself come through. And that's really my hope and desire for all of you. You are not the trauma. You are not all of the bullshit lies that you've come to believe because of that trauma. You are shining. You are brilliant. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You are profoundly gifted and talented. And I hope today that you will find some ways to tap into that part of you. Write a list out. What are the things that I love about me? Even if it feels confronting and I don't know and I don't think there's anything on that list, just give it a try. Just start. I think you'll be surprised what you notice. Until next time, take good care of you.